please.
Hello.
Hey, we're here.
Hello.
Folks,
Hello.
I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. What's happening, everybody? Welcome.
And I'm the podfather of gaming, Stephen Bonacore. Hello.
Hey, we're glad you're here for Board Game Breakfast. So a couple of things. We have quite a few things to go over here. So let's start out, first of all, with some shout-outs to some of our Kickstarter backers. We want to say thank you to Chris Ungro and Naoyan Kim, to Stephen Shepgya. I think I might be pronouncing it incorrectly. Tell me if I'm wrong or not. To Pablo Ribes from Merida in Mexico, and to Ryan Smith. We want to say thank you to each and every one of you.
Thank you, everybody. And I see how you left Ryan Smith for the end there, Tom. The nicely, easily pronounceable one.
Well, that way I come back. I come back from everything else, right?
Yes.
You got to finish strong. That's the rules. Okay, so secondly, we have a contest. This episode sponsored by Quetzal. This is a game from Gigamek. Quetzal is a game that Z just reviewed. Z, give us a quick rundown of this game.
This is a
5
worker
seconds.
placement game in which you are rolling your meeples before you place them on the board, collecting sets of goods, and loading them on ships to sell them off. It's great.
Awesome.
And we have 3 copies of this. This is a contest that's for North America. That you have a week to enter this contest. All you have to do is email us at contest@dicetower.com. In the subject line, put the word Quetzal. That's Quetzal. And in the body, put your address and the answer to this question: how many numbered locations are on the game board? There's an easy way to find out. Go watch Z's review.
True.
Could not have picked an easier word, obviously, to spell there. Could not have. Quetzal.
Well,
I know it's
The name of the game.
I know it is. Q might have been just good enough.
it's easier to spell than, say, Bonacore.
I don't know about
Um,
that.
Ooh,
I'm not sure.
In your face. In your face.
All right, let's see. Other things. The Winter Spectacular is coming soon. So that is, well, by soon, I mean really soon. Monday, starting Monday for 4 straight days. We have over 20 top 10 lists. We have lots of playthroughs. We are going to be talking about the state of gaming over the course of the year. So there's a lot of cool things coming up next week. One cool thing that's not happening is this board game breakfast. We'll be doing other things in its place. But have no fear. If you like Mr. Bonacore, he will still show up for about 20 seconds on our Monday breakfast. Well, no longer than that. I'm just kidding.
We'll give him
40.
20 seconds to spell Bonacore, and if he can't do it, we'll cut him off.
MISSISSS. Oh, that's a different. So the Winter Spectacular, folks, will have prizes and contests. It will be, most of it will be streamed live. So come by and say hi to us there. So that's happening next week. The week after that is Christmas week. Not a ton going on that week, except for the great Dice Tower Marble Madness races will begin. Just stupidity, really. I did it in my Q&A this week, and we're going to be doing more videos of that. If you want to be involved, you can even send a marble in to be in the races. Now, I want to be clear, there's no monetary prizes or betting or anything. It's just silly fun. If you want to do that, email me at tom@dicetower.com, and you get your own marble entered in the races. I think it's, oh no, and then, so now I have a bit of a downer. My apologies. But due to life and current events, and to no one's surprise, we officially have canceled both Dice Tower West and the Dice Tower Cruise in 2021. Were supposed to happen in a month and a half from now, essentially. So Dice Tower East is still on for now, and we're just going to have to wait and see as time goes by what's happening. The rescheduled dates for both of those we'll be announcing as time goes by. We're still working on those details, but we were looking forward to getting together with y'all there, but
it's coming. It's coming. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I was just telling someone yesterday, I feel like we are at the bottom of the curve. It is now all up. That's my hope.
No,
I saw the vaccines.
Yeah. I think we've already passed the Bonacore, which is what I call the lowest point of anything.
Ooh, can we get that into
that is so good.
the bottom of the curve, the Bonacore, the point?
Many points to see on that one, but no. But in all seriousness, I think with the vaccine on the horizon, we will all be seeing each other in 2021. I'm eternally optimistic in general, but this is, I think, a really, really great moment for science. We're gonna see each other, hopefully, sometime in 21.
I feel it. All righty, folks. Let's jump to some other contributors, and then we'll be back with the news.
You know, when I was a young chitlin, I liked to play little war games, and I would go to my FLGS store and get a Steve Jackson game for like $3. I mean, I had to save a month to get this game, Ogre, and I had a lot of fun, and these were pocket editions. Well, you know what? This is what. Steve Jackson just came out with a classic pocket box games bundle, and you get Raid on Iran, The Undead, Necromancer, One Page Bulge, what a blast! And Kung Fu 2100, and not to be outdone, The Awful Green Things from Outer Space. Now let's go back, way back to the beginning, because we're gonna check out all these games one at a time, and the first one we're gonna do is Raid on Iran. Wow, that's pretty cool. What's that about? What do you mean, what's that about? He just told you, Raid on Iran. And this is the box it comes in. A regular box, like a warehouse box. Like, look, you know. And you know who gave me these games? That's right, Glory Hound. Yeah. And what you get with this game is a plastic box, like a VHS box. You don't know what a VHS is? Look it up. You get a map of Iran. Well, that's a compound. You know, you see the grass here and the buildings, whatever. You get a rule book, probably like 6 pages, 2 pages of chit counters, and a terrain table. So you got your buddies, and you're going in, you got 8 helicopters, right? And 8 helis are going in to the compound, and you gotta save the hostages. How do you save them? How do you go in? Stealthy? Do you go in guns blazing? Hey, or with deceit? Very easy, 1 to 2 player game, save the hostages. Yeah, the components are not the best, and it's not a Robinson Crusoe or a Civil War game by Eric Lee Smith. Hey, it was $3 at that time. It's a lot of fun. They put out a bundle of everything, and these are the VHS cases. They're made out of plastic. I love going back in time because you know what? I used to be a little kid once, and I loved playing these games. Whether it be war games or Euro games. Sometimes going back to playing those little crappy little games is a lot of fun. See ya!
Hi, everybody.
Hello, we are Ryan and Bethany.
From Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we are talking about Cartographers. This is a flip and write game, meaning that you flip over a card. It's going to tell you what to do. In this case, what you're doing is you're making a map. So you might stumble across a forest or a river, whatever it is, and you're going to draw that on your map, and you're trying to get the most amount of points by placing everything strategically. So one of the things that we like to do is talk about what we're doing to try to achieve better health in our lives. This has been kind of a tough time for us, but we downloaded an app recently that's going to allow us to track what we're eating, kind of help map out our day. Cartographers, get it?
Yeah.
This is a good joke. I know it is, guys. No, so Cartographers, mapping out your day by tracking what you're eating. It's kind of really helping us to kind of see what we're putting in our bodies to help us make better choices. So if that's something you like to do, let us know in the comments below what the best app is that you use.
All right, you guys, Cartographers is an awesome game for virtual reasons. You only need, basically everybody just needs to have their own map, and then only one person can control the cards that are in front of you. And also, it's a really easy game to teach. There's not a ton of components out there, so that also makes it very accessible to play online with other people, which we have done. So I can speak from experience. This really works playing virtually.
A lot of the other roll and write or flip and write games that we've played are kind of a solitaire experience, which I personally don't mind. I like that. But if you're looking for more interaction, this has these monsters that come out. So what happens is you kind of rotate the boards, and then what you do is you get to draw on someone else's board where you want these monsters to be, and you can really mess up someone's board and what they're kind of going for. So I think it's a really fun way to get more interactive and also just cause some chaos.
This is definitely staying in our collection. If you want to hear more from us, find us on Facebook or YouTube. We are Ryan and Bethany of Board Game Reviews. Everybody, this is Ryan and Bethany, hoping you have a happy, healthy breakfast.
Bye, everybody.
Alrighty. Well, folks, right before we jumped back on here, Mr. Bonniger was talking about cats. And he dreamed that I was holding a cat, which we all know is false. Although the cat here is getting friendlier with me.
That's right. Dice Tower headquarters has its official cat. I've actually seen it hanging outside.
Socks.
And
Socks, the cat.
And a raccoon, I believe, too.
The raccoon is mine.
The raccoon is less loyal than the cat is.
Not to me.
The cat actually.
The
cat sits in front of the studio, and when I drive up, it's sitting right there. Waits for us to get out of the car, then runs to the back door and looks at us.
Ready for food.
Sometimes in the evenings when I pedal over, the raccoon jumps on me. He's waiting for me, too. He's like, oh, here comes that Cuban. He just leaps on me.
The reason I mentioned cats is because Exploding Kittens. Now, before you all turn off your
nice
videos,
segue.
Before you turn off all your videos in anger, Exploding Kittens has teamed up with well-known designer Eric Lang. They're currently looking for play testers. Mm-hmm. Eric Lang.
I don't know Eric. I'm kidding.
Yes, I understand that. This was like the one time name dropping would have been allowed.
Eric and I are very close. But this.
Oh. He can't help himself.
He did both. He made the joke and name drop.
Should I text him right now? He answers my text all the time. Anyway.
Oh my word.
No, it was.
I don't know. It sounds like it's going to be another very casual game anyway, but it's by Eric Lang, so gamers will automatically like it better.
When I saw this, Eric didn't. He told me he was working on something that was like mass market. That was kind of his thing. He really wanted to get a big mass market type. Of course, you can obviously make a lot of money doing that. So I assume this was the one that he was talking about. And I'm excited about this because Eric is a great designer, and for him to bring his design skills to something like this, I think we're going to see something very interesting from him.
We'll see. Alrighty. This next news is not necessarily a board game. It's Magic the Gathering related, but I found it fascinating. Magic the Gathering makes these secret lair projects where they release a small number of cards for an exorbitant price. I mean, they gouge you for these things. The people who buy these buy them almost as investments. They're just ridiculously high price. But they're doing a Bob Ross set, Happy Little Gathering, which I thought is cool. If I would actually buy this if it was more reasonably priced.
What are they charging for this?
Oh, they're usually. Let me look it up and see if I can find.
Is it just this many cards, like 10?
Yeah, it's just a handful of cards. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's $30. It's $30 for 10 cards.
Well, it's
both
that's
the
regular
version.
Regular
the foil version is $40.
Wow. Well, I saw this. I will say about this is that this is kind of cool because Bob Ross has an amazing legacy of bringing artistic skills to the masses. I mean, I know people who learned how to paint and did, they didn't sell it like they were like Picasso, but they sold things. He had an amazing legacy of what he achieved for regular people. So I think this is cool for that.
Oh, no. I think it's really cool, too. I'm just saying it's expensive. That's all.
I'm not a Magic the Gathering player anymore. I was way back in the day. But if I was and I was serious, I would definitely own something like this.
Tell you what, though, Wizard of the Coast has it down. They always sell these things out, apparently. And they do really well with this.
Yeah.
Kenny here, he occasionally will buy these as like an investment. Like the Godzilla ones, I know, really increased in price.
Yeah, he bought one of those, right? I think he had one of those, Kenny.
I think so.
Yeah, it's crazy, but they know what they're doing. They know how many to print clearly, or if they don't, man, they destroy them afterwards because they do not let these things fall in price afterwards. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Like they guard this closely. They know how to make money over there.
Mm.
All right. Well, Pearl Games has showed off their new edition of Gingopolis. This is a very difficult game to get right now. It's quite expensive if you try to buy it on the secondhand market. It's an engine building game about building a city in the forest or something to that effect. I'm looking forward to this again. I like the game. It's themeless, but it's fun. I don't like it as much as Steph Hodge does. I believe this is her favorite game, so she's probably over the moon.
That's right. Her favorite game.
I never played Gingopolis.
It gives me a little bit of a feeling of a Tom Lemon game almost. Okay. You build this engine, and the more you do, the better your actions get. You can kind of set up some nice combos.
Right. Cool.
On the Underground, was a beautiful redone version of it was done from Ludonaut Games, and now it was London/Berlin. Now they have Paris/New York coming, which is really exciting to me. I love this concept. The cover of the first one was beautiful. The new one is also really pretty too.
Now this is one box we're looking at here, the front and the back of one box.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing they did with the first one, where they have like a sheet on the back that has the UPS and all that. You know the
UPC.
UPC, sorry, not UPS. The UPC attached with the shrink wrap, but when you take it off, you can turn it around to show whichever side you want. So,
got it.
The French side or the U.S. side. I think they're both really pretty.
Yeah,
I might even lean towards the French because I like that flag there.
Yeah, I like what they do with that. That's very nice. It's subtle, but it's definitely clearly like the flag, and then you have all the outline, the skyline. It's great. It looks fantastic.
Absolutely gorgeous box. Very artistic. I'm happy. Like On the Underground was like almost a cult game. You couldn't get for a long, long time until it came back. And
it was also not a very pretty. It was an okay looking game. The Ragnar brothers did it, I believe.
It was not a pretty game. This is pretty, and I'm happy to see that New York is getting some love here. It's really cool.
Jersey.
When you get like flashbacks when you ride the subway, he'll start playing this game. He'll be like, ah.
I did a lot of subway riding in my life. So.
Yeah. That's when you used to listen to podcasts.
It's when mostly that was on New Jersey Transit commuter trains, but yeah, that's basically right. Yeah, lots of times, lots of hours spent listening to podcasts on my commute.
All right, next we have an 18XX. 18XX, I think, is one of these genres that has really benefited from the modern age, from the internet/Kickstarter and everything. They're just easier for people to get. Mm-hmm. So here we have 18 Mag. This one is for Hungary. This one's coming from Lani Games. So the person who designed this has already designed 18 CZ and 18 Lilliput and 1880 China. Oh, and Russian Railroads. I like Russian Railroads. So for those of you who like 18XX games, rejoice.
Cool.
Magyar is Hungary in Hungarian.
Right.
So that's when I looked at this.
Zag, maybe?
No, well, Magyar is how you say Hungary in Hungarian. I just looked at 18 Mag. I had no idea what it meant until I realized, it's Hungarian railway history. Cool.
Also, it mentioned that in the description if you bothered to read it. But
I did not read your description.
All righty. Speaking of trains, we have another train game coming, Luzon Rails. This is from Robin David. It was kickstarted in August, and it's already coming out in December. So that's good.
This looks nice.
That's a pretty board,
yeah.
I think. I'm glad to see train games have finally come around the corner of looking like garbage. They're starting to look good.
That's mean, Tom. That's not okay. Just because they finally discovered artwork.
Thing I said. I said they're getting better.
And this is an improvement over the usual stuff. It's not exactly the prettiest board in my opinion, but yes, it's better than the average.
Yeah, this one feels like the kind of thing I might even want to try because I'm liking what I'm seeing here. It looks fairly refined. You know what I mean? Not a lot of moving parts. So losing on rails. I'm there.
All right, the 4th version of Warhammer Underworlds has come out, Dire Chasm. In fact, we just got this in the mail the other day. So I'm still not sure how these differ from one another. Yeah, well, there is that. And I know each one adds factions. It just seems odd to me that they keep titling them different. And then
they just combine 2 words and put it out there. I don't know. Two cool sounding words. I know they have one coming out in 2021 on April 1st called Sarcasm. It's a sequel to this.
All right. Let's move on to the most important news of the week. Hang some Catan on your wall. So we already talked about Catan. What did they do? They did blankets or socks or I forget.
Oh,
shoes.
Oh, shoes. Both of those have been out.
Shoes, sneakers.
And shoes. That's right, shoes, yeah.
The people at Catan are just like, what can we put this on next? Let's put it on people's wall. What do people like most about Catan? Hands down, people have been bragging about that cover for never. So now don't get me wrong. Actually, when you take off Catan and everything, that's not a bad piece of artwork, I guess. But
this right here in front of us, this is really, really nice looking. I would definitely consider. Yeah, if you tell me where to, I don't see it in your notes here, Tom, like where I could get this, but I would absolutely consider buying this.
I like that it's a shadow box. I'm a big fan of shadow boxes.
Yeah. It's a three-dimensional, right? Three-dimensional. The pieces are on top of each other. I'm very excited.
It's acrylic paints. I like that concept. If I was thinking about art to get the cover, Catan was never one I thought of. How much do you think it will be? I don't know if there's a.
Catan is iconic, right? In the industry, in gaming history, it started almost the whole thing. So just to have that, I would absolutely consider getting this.
I could see that. I agree with you, Steve. And I think this is a good from someone who is into this hobby or someone in your case who added to the hobby. This is absolutely a nice piece of history that you can hang on the wall and say, look, I'm part of that world. Like I'm part of what this brought about. Yeah, it looks beautiful. I agree that I would like to see other covers have this treatment because, I do like shadow boxes too. But this is a good first step. I mean, this makes sense.
How much do you think it is?
I looked it up. Oh, you did? All right, I'll take a guess. They'll probably sell this for $70.
How much did you say?
70.
I was gonna guess 60 is what was the number in my head, so I'm gonna go with that.
It is $129.
Ooh, just put it out of my range.
That's a little pricey.
Time to get a job again, Steve.
All right. At last on the news today, Munchkin is doing Critical Role. So a lot of people like the Critical Role. They're a stream that does role-playing games. They've landed in Dungeons and Dragons. There's a lot of things they've done, and now they're in Munchkin. This is how you will know when we made it, Z, when there's Munchkin Dice Tower.
Yes.
Oh boy, what I'll see.
Or like a Dice Tower love letter.
I already got one of those. So
somebody made one?
I don't want to know.
It's right here. Do you want me to read it?
I don't want to know.
No.
Alrighty. So anywho, that is the news. This is Munchkin is. I think it's a conjunction of Steve Jackson and Op. The Op. So that's what it looks like. So, all right. I'm sure there'll be more news in the future, but be prepared. Me versus Bonacor, part 2 coming up. Let's get to some contributors.
Do it.
This is a segment where we take a look at a board game based on an IP, and I tell you if the IP and the mechanisms match together. Today we're looking at Frosty the Snowman, the card game. And in this one, what you're trying to do is get the little kids to line up in a certain order so they can take their parade run. It's the beginning of the show. Let's take a look at how the game plays. We'll get back. I'll tell you if the IP and the mechanisms match. So Frosty the Snowman is very easy. You're going to have these gold tiles that you'll have. you'll put the Frosty in the front and the kids based on their number and line. On your turn, you can do one of 3 actions. The first one is take one of this and play a card down and move him up or back 1 space, depending on whatever the goal is you're trying to accomplish. If you wanted to, you could play a card. Say I want to move this red person, and another player has another card. I can play those 2 cards, swap the locations of the 2 players, and both people will draw up at the end of the turn. If I had cards that really didn't help us at all, the third possible action, I could just discard these cards and draw back up to my hand limit of 3 or 2 based on number of players. What I'm trying to do is get the kids in this order that's listed on this goal card. If I accomplish this, then I flip it over and I'm done, and I would move on to the next one, which has the kids in a different order. If I do this 3 times, I win on easy, 4 times is medium, and 5 is hard. And that's how you play Frosty the Snowman. I do feel like the IP matches the mechanisms from the beginning of the show. Now, you don't go on the full adventure of Frosty. It's really about the parade version and trying to get lined up in a parade. Now, it's a little bit of a stretch of why we're trying to get in a certain order, but we are trying to line up against Frosty, and I like to picture that the kids are fighting for the little respect of where they're going to be in line. So that works in that regard. The game is really fun. My kids really, really like this, but keep in mind, this is for younger gamers. This is 4+. So you probably want to play this with little kids. You're not going to play this with your gaming buddies, but it might be a little fun game to play while you're waiting to open presents on Christmas Eve or with the extended family that can get into this game. It's very simple to play, but it's really intended for children. I think that's going to be its sweet spot. For me, it's a keeper. I feel like the IP and the mechanisms fit okay together, and it works as a package.
Hey everyone, it's Clara, and I have been talking about games I'm really interested, but I thought I'd talk a little bit about what is it that makes me interested in those games. So I have to be strategic with my money at the moment. I don't have lots of it, and yes, I could go into a board game cafe. We have the amazing Thirsty Meeples in Oxford, but I don't always have the time. I don't always have the money to do that. And so I, really rely on reviews, and especially when they compare them to other games, because that really helps me, it gives me an indication of whether I'm going to like it or not. But what is it I'm looking for in a game? And again, I thought over the next few weeks, I'd talk about stuff that really interests me and stuff that doesn't. And there's, I think I've shared, I've talked about worker placements a few times. So I really love worker placements, but I've got 4 or 5 worker placements. Do I need another one? Well, no, because chances are, I'm going to pull out Lords of Waterdeep or Stone Age. So if you are going to, say we've got this worker placement, you've got to add something to it. Now, it could be something really surface, like Tolkien. It's got the board with the cogs in the middle that turn around. Yeah, that gets me interested. That's enough. But generally, I want something a little bit different, a little bit extra. So, Champions of Midgard, you're going to use your resources and gain stuff to go out fighting. That's kind of cool. That adds. Same with deck building. I really enjoy deck building, but, I've got Dominion and Ascension. What is it that your deck builders bring in? I look at Clank and I see the board. I see you're going on a little adventure. You're going to be going through. If you add in Clank Legacy, then you've got the legacy aspect to it. I need that extra something. I want that extra something. Takes what I love and builds on it. I'm curious, what is it that you look for in a game? Let me know in the comments below. Bye.
Happy breakfast, everyone. Today we're going to talk about Mysterium Park. So how does Mysterium or Mysterium Park work? Well, in both, one player is going to be taking up the role of the ghost, and they're going to be guiding the investigators or psychics via a number of visions. The ghost will be hinting towards characters, locations, and in Mysterium, also objects. Now that final third round is cut from Mysterium Park, and that's some of the reason why it's a bit quicker to play. In this one, once everyone has guessed their character that they're supposed to, all indicated characters are removed, leaving only a few potential culprits for the final round. Then it's sort of replayed with locations. Again, everyone's guessing their own locations, but you can work to help each other using the vision cards that are there to sort of go, right, well, you think it's sort of been hinted because of the colour, but actually I think the clock on that image really means something. All of the cards, the vision cards and the person and place cards, in Mysterium Park are matched size-wise to those in Mysterium. Now, the backs of them, the colouring on the reverse is different, so that means you can split the decks out if you wanted to quite easily, but you can also shuffle them together to create a big deck. Now, I think that is why I won't be getting rid of Mysterium. At the same time, the quicker playing time from not having to do all the admin of setting up, having one less round, and having the same general feel of Mysterium in Mysterium Park means this is the version I'd lean to. Anyway, that is Mysterium Park, a great game and really enjoyed this one. Of course, there's a longer version of this if you want to see more details on my YouTube channel, East Gaming UK. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your breakfast, and I'm Oliver East, signing out.
Oh, hello everybody. Welcome back to 10 for 10 Race to 15 edition. This is getting confusing. What can I say? All right, today we are going to be pitting Mr. Bonacore versus Mr. Vassal to see who knows their 2020 game releases and how far they've reached their audience. I have ranked here, guys, in the little sheets of paper here. I've got the top 10 games from 2020 with the most voters from BGG, on BGG.
People who have ranked the game the most, rated the game the most.
That's right, yeah. It's a number of voters, and they call a voter someone who has given it a score, I believe, yeah. So that's what this is. Top 10 number of voters, and then, of course, I have another 10 that are not in the top 10.
Oh boy.
I'm going to shake this up. We're going to pull one out. You guys are going to vote yes if you think it is in the top 10. They've had the most penetration into the hobby. Most people know about them. Or no if you think it fell out of that. And then, of course, if you are correct, you'll get a point. And if it is indeed in the top 10, we'll have to assign it to someone for points. The number 1 of the year will give you 6 points. And then down from there, 5, 4, 3, 2. And the bottom 5 are just a point each. Race to 15. Here we go. You guys ready?
I'm ready.
I'm at a disadvantage here, but okay.
Why are you at a disadvantage, Bonacore?
Oh, he knows every game that's ever come out in history. All right.
This is a topic I'm completely unfamiliar with, so I believe it's a fair battle.
Yeah.
I think it's fair, Bonacore.
Not fair. But then again, you gave me mob movies, and I lost that one.
I wasn't going to bring that up.
Oh, I lost that one.
Next week, beer.
If I don't win that table flip, I'm jumping out my window.
Here we go, guys. The first one is Infinity Gauntlet, a love letter game. Infinity Gauntlet, a love letter game. This is the Marvel love letter.
I'm ready.
Made the top 10 numbers of voters. Okay, I'm ready.
Correct. Okay, hold on one second.
I have a new and improved voting system here.
Oh, boy. Okay, here we go. Let's see them, guys. Okay, you both said no. Tom said no way.
Notice I will not be crossing out every time and writing no again or yes again.
This has 563 voters.
Ooh.
It is the number 50 of the year so far. As of right now this morning, this is the 50th title. So you're both, of course, correct. Tom gets an extra point for saying no way.
No, he does not.
Hey, it's my game. I do what I want, baby.
I would like to not take that point.
All right, very well. You each have a single point then.
I know the rules of this game now. I don't want to be ahead yet.
Oh, that's right.
Here we go. Next up, guys. We have got Ether Fields. Ether Fields.
Ooh. All right.
Here we go. Let's see him. Oh, I think you got played, Steven. With Tom being like, ooh, I don't know. I think he played you. Ether Fields has 677 votes.
I know.
It is the 28th this year.
It just got sent to backers like last week.
Right. So not enough of them are out there. And Tom, is clearly at an advantage. So for every point he would get, he is instead getting 0.6 points.
Inflation.
No. Play it right. Give him a point.
Fine. Tom, you have 2 points. Bonacor, you have 1. Next up, King of Tokyo, Dark Edition. King of Tokyo, Dark Edition.
I'm ready.
All right. Let's see him. Oh, Tom's being like polite today. Look at this. So, Steven, you're saying no. Tom said yes, sir. He is barely correct. This is the number 10.
Wow.
Oh, wait, I shouldn't have said that, should I? You're supposed to assign it. Oops.
I give it to Bonacor.
Well.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. Never mind. Let's keep going. Tom, you got a point. The 10 is off the board. Your video is like...
Can't I give it to Bonacor anyway? It doesn't hurt him for me to give it to him at this point.
Sure, let's give Bonacor a point.
What does that mean?
Your video is like super freaking me out. It's really distracting me.
Who, me or him?
Are you guys not seeing that?
No, he's smooth.
Oh, wow. I'm getting like some craziness right now from your screen. Super distracting me. It's throwing me off. Anyway.
Whose screen? Mine?
Bonacor's face is like doing this crazy glitching stuff. It's really freaky, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
Like it's really, really freaky. I'm gonna have to like take a momentary video of this, folks, just for proof. Look, I'm doing it. This is the strangest. This is the strangest thing I've ever seen. Fantastic, Steven. I loved it.
What is going on?
I don't know what that looks like.
Oh, look at that.
That is fun. He's trying to do that stronghold color on his face again.
Something's happening. I don't know. Anyway, let's keep going.
Does Roy see this? Does Roy see this in the
No,
feed
it's just me
there?
apparently. You
All
look
right.
great, he says. You're a gorgeous man. That's what he said.
Here
we go, guys.
It's not because of the glitch.
Here we go. Next up, Small World of Warcraft. Small World of Warcraft. Oh, now you're fine. What is going on? All right. I don't understand
I'm
what's
ready.
happening.
Ready?
Yeah, let's see him. Very well. This has 525 voters, guys. You are both wrong. This is 54 out of the top of the year. The 54th most voted on.
Wow.
Next up. And I promise not to say where they come in anymore. Like an idiot. Here we go. Undaunted North Africa. Undaunted North Africa.
Wow. All right.
Here we go. Go. You are both correct. This has 601 voters. It is 44. So
have
4
you played
points.
this yet, Mr. Bonacor?
No, I have not. Is it good?
I really think you would like it.
War game-ish or conflict?
But it's light. Like, do you like Memoir 44?
Yeah, I love Memoir. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on that level.
Sure. No, that's light war games are great. Get them to the table more. Sure. It'd be fun.
So right now, Tom's got 4 points. Steven, you have 3 points, okay?
I gotta ask my buddy Chad about Undaunted.
Here we go, guys. Lost Ruins of Arnak. Lost Ruins of Arnak. Let's see them. What do you got? Cool. This has 518 votes. You are both wrong.
Wow.
It is 55.
Wow, this is hard to. I haven't. When I did my statistical studies the other day, I didn't look at this number from 2020.
That's right. You messed up.
Yeah, I did.
Right,
I looked at it from another year, but not 2020.
Next up, oceans. Oceans.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Go. Very well. You're both correct. So, Tom, you got a point. Steven, you got a point. Steven, you are behind Tom, so you get to decide if you'd like to keep this one or if you want to give it to him. Don't forget, I'll remind you, number 1 is 6 points, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then the bottom 5 are a single point apiece.
It's probably number 1, so you should keep it.
I'm gonna give it to Tom. Thank you for the help and just
you're gonna give it to Tom.
I'm gonna give it to him.
This has 2,246 voters. It's the third.
Don't throw me in that briar patch.
It is 4 points.
4 points.
Which means Tom is up to 9 now.
Yeah.
You have 4, Steven.
Yeah. He's all cocky.
In fact, I'm going to give you King of Tokyo Dark Edition again. That's what I'm going to do. No, I'm not.
Oh, I can't believe I did that. I fell for the trap.
Here we go.
You trapped me. You absolutely trapped me. It was like
Next up, Reiner Knizia's My City. My City.
Ready?
Yep.
Let's see him. You are both indeed correct, guys. This has a decent amount of votes. It has 833. Wow. It's number 19, but it is not in the top 10. So, Tom, you are at 10 points. Bonacor, half of that with 5.
You need like 1,000 votes to get into the top 10. It's amazing. Sounds like approximately.
Well, we are in December.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's kind of surprising. I don't know. That's a lot.
All right, here we go. Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion.
I'm ready. It's definitely a no, Tom, by the way. It's definitely
no. Let's see him. You're both saying yes. You are both indeed correct. Tom, you got a point. You're at 11. Steven, you are at 6.
I'll take it.
You're taking it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
What do you think, Tom? What do you think this is? It's going to be Steven.
1 or 2. It's 1 or 2, so I'll go with 2, but I can't think what number 1 is.
It's number 1. It's number 1.
5,182 votes. It's number 1.
Oh.
Steven, you're at 12. 6
12-9?
plus 6 points. You're at 12 points.
12-2.
Means Tom is now below you at 11.
Always below.
Interesting.
Go ahead.
I love the scoring for this game. It's so...
Here we go.
Maybe you should design something for Exploding Kittens next.
Yeah. Not Exploding Kittens. Nothing personal.
All right. Pandemic Legacy Season 0. Pandemic Legacy Season 0. Let's see him.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Tom, you said no. Steven, you said yes.
It was just released a month or so ago.
Huh. Well, it's a tie, but it's also a tie for 38th place. So, Tom, you've got a point. You guys are now tied neck and neck, which means the next one.
How does that work?
Yeah.
How does that work then?
Whoever has the lowest, remember?
Yeah, but we bought the same score.
Whoever has the lowest numbered in the top 10s, you gave him King of Tokyo Dark. That's the number 10. As someone may have said, I was like an idiot.
So that's the tiebreaker, so I get to pick? I love it.
This is why no one likes when you teach games, Garcia.
Too soon, man. All right, here we go. I mean, of all the top 10, we've only had what? We've actually only had, I think, the 1 and the 10? Oh, no, this one came out. Oceans. I put it over here. And you kept that, Steven, right?
No, yeah,
No,
you
you
did.
gave
That
it
was
to
the
Tom.
three.
No. I gave Oceans away, sadly. He got 4 points for that.
That's right. Correct. So, yeah, right now the tiebreaker goes to Steven because he's got the number 10. In fact, he'll always keep the tiebreaker now.
Oh, yeah.
Forever. Here we go. Next up. Rallyman GT. Rallyman GT. You are each at 12 points, guys.
All right. Ready?
Let's see him.
Yeah. Ooh. Discrepancy.
Boy.
What is it?
Oh, boy. 1,000. Oh, wait, I can't. Yes, it is in.
It is
Tom,
in.
you get a point. And then, Steven, you get to either keep this or give it away.
I give it away.
You sure? You have 12 points. Tom has 13.
Yes, I give it away.
Very well. Tom, this is the number 8. It's 1,651. You get a point. Which puts you at
if you'd given me the 2-pointer there, I would have won.
Well, also, he put you within 1 point of winning, which means you can just guess the next thing right and win. I don't know why he wouldn't.
I'm just going to throw my paper up and whatever side it comes on, that's what I'm going to put.
I forgot. It's 13.2. Oh, I forgot. I thought we were, yeah.
He asked you if you were sure.
I did.
know.
I winked. I was like that.
Sorry.
Next up, Eclipse, Second Dawn of the Galaxy. The most epic of all the game titles, except for one that talks about Jaws and lions. Fellas, Eclipse, Second Dawn of the Galaxy.
Ready?
Let's see them. You are both saying yes. You're both indeed correct.
But
Tom,
I get to
you're at 15. Steven, you're at 13.
But if I take this and I get at least 2 points, so doesn't I tie? Don't I?
Yeah. You want to take it?
Yes.
Well, it's only worth 1 point. Sorry.
Oh.
But yes, if it had been worth at least 2 points, you would have won because of the tiebreaker. As I always say, never underestimate the dark edition of things. King of Tokyo.
So what was the top 10? I know, obviously, Gloomhaven's one. I'm really
I'll tell you right
trying
now.
to think
So
of
it is.
2 is.
Okay, so it's Gloomhaven at the top. On Mars is number 2.
Oh, right.
Ocean
Isle of Cats in there?
Tang Garden, number 4. Fort.
Oh.
Tekenu, Obelisk of the Sun after that. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 is Calico. 8, we got 2. Rallyman GT. 9 was Eclipse. And 10 was King of Tokyo Dark. And just outside at number 11, though I skipped a chunk like I like to do, so it's not so close. Viscounts is number 11, actually.
Oh,
they're almost in
wow,
there.
that is super new for being that high.
There we go.
Garfield.
Oh, guys, that was a tight game. 15-14. Well done.
All right, folks. We got a couple more contributors. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Ambi, and today I'm going to talk about 13 Sheep, which is a roll and write game where you're fencing in sheep. In 13 Sheep, you're trying to enclose a large number of sheep in one fence, but in order to score any fence area, it needs to be completely enclosed. You get more points for the more sheep you score in each area, so you want a big fence, but there's some press your luck in there. Each turn, you're going to roll a die and then draw that fence shape anywhere in the grid without drawing over another fence shape or a bush. But after 7 turns, the game has a possibility of ending immediately depending on what you roll, but the game could also go on a few more turns. So there's the press your luck. Do you go for a huge fence and leave it open and then keep drawing around and hope that you have more turns? Or do you play it safe and close it off to make sure that you can score and then maybe get like a smaller fence later for another couple of points? It's really exciting when you go for it and get a huge fence area with a lot of sheep in it, but it's also kind of funny when you go for it and don't make it and get 0 points. Overall, 13 Sheep is a fun spatial puzzle game that you can play anywhere, and it's really quick and really easy to play, so you can play it multiple times in a row really easily. Bye!
Hi, I'm Josh from the YouTube channel Josh Yaks, and once again I'll be taking a look at a thematic game mechanism. This time we'll be looking at the two-player submarine battling game Steam Torpedo and seeing how the crew activation mechanism simulates the frantic chaos of operating a rather understaffed submarine during wartime. The setup phase sees players building their submarines out of specialized rooms that each perform different functions. There are a few ways in which this can be done. Players can use a pre-made setup from the rulebook, as I've done here, or they could have a random layout by shuffling up the rooms, or if one or more expansions are included, they could take turns drafting tiles to make a completely customized machine. To make use of all these special rooms, crew members are required to trigger each room's special ability. The crew will begin the battle together in the control room, and then on each turn you will activate all your crew members. Each person will move to an adjacent room or trigger the ability of a room they're in by first flipping the switch, then moving one room closer to the control room, possibly setting yourself up for your next turn's activation, then turning over to the exhausted side, then finally resolving the room's effects. As rooms of your submarine gradually get destroyed during the battle, you might end up losing access to both rooms and crew members. But while your sub is still fully operational, this crew activation mechanism creates a fair bit to think about, both tactically and strategically, as players attempt to cleverly position everybody to make the most of their submarine's layout. Adding to the strategy is the fact that the captain has a special ability, as do crew members in one of the game's expansions. A few years ago, my friend actually discovered that there's an unbeatable combo that can be achieved with the recommended sub-layouts in the rulebook. If you want to see what that's about, I wrote about it in the BGG forum for this game under my username of Squash. Meanwhile, I'd sure love to see you over on my Josh Yaks YouTube channel. Cheers!
Hello, my name's Dan, this is Cora, and we're here today to talk to you about Cora Quest, which is our cooperative... Well, what is it? You tell them.
It's our cooperative dungeon crawling game.
Yeah. A while ago, we asked people to contribute to it, the game, by sending us some artwork, some children's artwork, didn't we? Because a lot of your art's in it, but we wanted even more kids' artwork in it. And we got loads of responses, didn't we? And in fact, me and Cora spent a good hour going through it and talking about them all on a video, which you can find at the coraquest.com website. I love that. Look at that box on his head.
It's like a very, very big pirate hat and a hammer to...
Yeah, he's got a hammer.
He's wearing pants.
Oh, I didn't know he's got Y-fronts on. I might dress as this. It's a shame Halloween's gone, otherwise I could have dressed like this and gone out trick-or-treating.
Still do it, it was yesterday.
Should we go trick-or-treating tomorrow with me dressed like this?
Okay.
In my underpants and a box on my head?
Okay.
I think...
and a mallet.
I think I'd be arrested, to be honest. So that's that. So we gave all this artwork to our friend Gary, and what did he do with it?
He coloured it in and put it into the cards.
He coloured it in and put it into the game. And we're going to show you some of the awesome stuff that's been done with this kid's artwork by Gary. So, let's have a look. So, first of all, we've got these enemies. We've got this fantastic goblin by Isabella.
And the orc.
By Maya. And they're fantastic, and they're going to be some of our main baddies, aren't they, in the game? This is your Gremlin Archer, and Gary's coloured that in as well, hasn't he?
Yep.
And as well as monsters in the dungeon, you're going to get other stuff as well. You're going to get some traps and nasty things like that. And look at this fantastic ghost by Rosa Lee. And this pile of coins that is not coins by Evan. And so they're awesome as well. But it's not just traps in the dungeon, is it, Cora? What else can you find?
You can find some treasure.
Some treasure, that's it, yeah. And this is the back of the treasure cards that we've done. And this is by a boy called Tristan. And who's this ghost by?
Scotty.
So, there you go. That's some fantastic artwork from kids in our community. And we're going to be looking for some new artwork soon, aren't we, Cora? And how would people know when we want some more artwork?
Because the Facebook...
The Facebook group! And how else? CoraQuest.com as well. So if you want to find out what kind of new artwork we're looking for, make sure you sign up to our mailing list on CoraQuest.com and our Facebook group. And that's all we got, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Hey folks, thanks so much for watching the show. Don't forget to enter the contest. We mentioned at the very beginning of the episode, so zoom back there and check it out. Thank you to Mr. Garcia and Mr. Bonacore for coming on the show and losing to me respectively.
Without respect.
And that's it. That's true. So we're ending now, but we'll be back at noon where I continue to go through the worst games of all time. And they get worse and worse. I'll be doing 2 more of those shows today where we take a look at games that are just ranked so very low on Board Game Geek.
You are a mean man to be talking about those kind of games. Just a mean, mean man.
I said some kind things about some of them. I even partially defended one that you may have had a hand in. But hey, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
And I'm Stephen Bonacore.
You've been watching Board Game Breakfast. Have fun chewing.